What's up, dudes? Inglewood here from Killing Esports, solo casting a StarCraft 2 game for you guys. We're on a map whose name I can't remember, and we've got a TvP. The red Protoss starting out in the top right position is AliasRaider, and he's going to be facing off against the blue Terran Tdub in the southeast bottom right position. This is a replay where I know nothing about the players, but it was pulled off of a replay site. And it had a good review. It had like 7,000 downloads, so hopefully something good happens. That said, maybe it's a big troll and it's crap. I won't say anything one way or another. TvP on this map. What the hell map is this? I feel like Entombed Valley? Is that what it is? I think it's probably Entombed Valley. So TvP, pretty much a normal kind of matchup here for Entombed Valley. Easy expansion to take for both players, obviously, and I expect both players will do it unless one tries to go a little bit cheesy and do some one base aggression. Looks like AliasRaider is going to go ahead and probe scout real fast here, and he's going to go the wrong way, unfortunately for him. He's going to go counterclockwise and see jack shit, and walling off here at the top of the ramp for Tdub with the normal supply depot and barracks. Gateway on the way now for AliasRaider. Everything looking real easy. He is doing a bit of a wall off here between the gas and the Nexus. That's going to prevent Marines from running in that one side, I guess. It's not really going to be a huge advantage, but when you're throwing down buildings, it's nice to make some sort of use out of them, and he is going to protect half of his mineral line by doing this. That said, he's also going to trap half of his mineral line in case there's like drops later on in the game. So we will see about that. The probe now, realizing that he's gone the wrong way, he's going to scout the second possible position and see that there is nothing and that he made the wrong choice and that he's been wasting his whole life and that he should have just stayed in college. And he actually came way deep here. So probe wasting some time here. We got a little bit of like a backwards swastika on the mini-map in scouted area here. That's not very good. This ramp is not completely walled off. There is not a supply depot closing off the top side of this opening, and so the probe will get in and he will see everything that he sees. One gas is taken for the Terran. Pretty typical to take a gas on 14, so nothing out of the usual. He sees that by having a gas, he's not going super early racks pressure with multiple racks. He's not going like a cheesy Marine timing thing. And he's also not going like Banshees or something, because then he'd have a double gas. So he sees typical play coming out of this Terran. And what is this? A second factory is coming down. So that... oh, actually that's a third factory. There's already two up. So factory number 3 is down. And AliasRaider is going to know that this is just typical bio play. And he will be prepared for maybe some Marauders with his tech lab here on the barracks. It's not researching anything, so it's not there for buffs per se. We will probably see Stim or Combat Shield come up pretty shortly, but nothing is being rushed out of it. Where is that probe? Was it killed right away? It was killed right away, so all this time I'm talking, it was actually already dead. So let's see what AliasRaider saw. He didn't even get to scout the gas. Oh, that changes everything. So now he doesn't know what's actually coming his way. That's a big deal. Oop, and I shut off the production tab. So we see Marauders and Marines coming out for Tdub. Back at home, what have we got? 4-gate. That's a 4-gate. No proxy pylons down for the Protoss yet, so he's not looking to warp in immediately. And how's that warp gate coming? About halfway done. A little over halfway done. And he's also adding a robo bay. So probably because he didn't get that scout of the gas, he doesn't know what his opponent is doing. He wants to get an observer out just to like double check that no Marine push is coming. But look. Oh, a Marine push is coming. So that could be some trouble for the Protoss if he's not ready for it. And what does he have waiting for it? Not a whole lot. One? Really? Is that it? Take a look at the units tab. One Stalker. That's it. That's going to be some trouble if the Protoss is not better prepared for this attack once it hits. And it looks like he's taking kind of a funny route to get there. He's not doing a straight line right to the ramp. But Tdub is going to be there in just moments. And AliasRaider is not prepared for this. 40 to 46 supply is not that different. And he actually has been warping in, so that's good. Or he's actually been chronoing out some stalkers. So he does have 3. And, oh, a bunker starts to come down for Tdub, and there's an engagement here. 1 stalker falls immediately. 2nd stalker is down. The 2 more pop out. The 3rd is cleaned up. And now it's just 1 stalker on all these Marines and Marauders. And they're actually going to start to work on these structures instead of chasing down those stalkers. This bunker here is probably going to finish. There's no pressure coming out of AliasRaider here. 10 supply lead for Tdub. This is way too early to be happening. Workers are pulled off the line, and these stalker, 1 stalker, 1 zealot, and a bunch of workers are going to try and clean up like 5 Marauders and a bunch of Marines, and SCV is getting to work too. And it looks like they're actually getting some work done. 2 bunkers are up. 1 is filled. 1 is kind of empty. And these workers actually get a ton of kills. The Marauders come up. The reinforcement Marauders arrive. They do fill that bunker. They are going to take this pylon down, but it's 26 supply to 44. What can AliasRaider do now? He's vastly behind. One of his warp gates is unpowered. He does have an Immortal out, though, and that Immortal is going to put in work against these Marauders, and he doesn't want to get baited in towards the bunker, so he's just going to kind of hang back and play defensive. This Marine Marauder push is doing serious work here. 2 gateways, or 2 warp gates now unpowered. And he's AliasRaider trying to get some single shots here on this bunker to work it down, but an SCV is there to repair it. 1 Marine, 1 Marauder walks behind the mineral line, going to start taking out workers. Let's take a look at that workers killed tab just for a moment. 16 workers killed for Tdub, so amazing damage done economically, but he's not quite able to finish this off. 1 Marauder in that bunker is going to chip away at this warp gate, probably get that, but there's still 3 more here. He needs to get a pylon down to repower this 3rd warp gate and help out this robo facility, which is chrono boosting nothing at the moment. Nothing coming out. 1 Immortal just finished, but he doesn't have the money to make another. So we're at a bit of a stalemate here. Observer here checking out the 2nd base of Tdub coming down, so he is expanding behind all this, but he has 2 bunkers in a great looking position here. Bunch of Marauders and Marines gonna pull up in here. Engineering bay on the way for some buffs to begin. There's still no stim here, but it's not really necessary. He does have a huge numbers advantage. So 38 supply to 54. 1 bunker does fall, but a couple of Immortals and a couple Stalkers might not be enough here. A warp gate comes down, and these Zealots challenge the Marine units, and they are going to take a few hits and be warded away. So these 2 Immortals capable of doing immense damage, but they can't stand up to the firepower of 8 Terran units all by themselves, 9 Terran units. And now it looks like this mineral line is actually under fire. Workers pulled once again. A few workers pulled off to take some shots while these Marauders just get melted down here, and they are actually cleaned up. So good defend. 2 more Marauders down here on the south side. Gonna try and pick off this pylon and depower the 2 warp gates, but no, they are actually denied. So 4 Stalkers and a couple of Immortals are going to clean up this push, but what a disadvantage AliasRaider finds himself at, down a base to his Terran opponent. If we take a look at the units tab, how are the worker counts looking? 17 to 32, not even close. And the army count is looking pretty much in the Protoss' favor, just a little bit. But the huge economic advantage for the Terran. AliasRaider is going to push out and try and make something happen right now. 4 Stalkers lead the way. 4 Stalkers against 2 Marauders, looking pretty good. They're going to kite him and pull back and wait for the rest to come up here. 2 Immortals and a Zealot going to join the fight. 1 Marauder falls immediately, and there's just not enough here to hold them. It looks like AliasRaider is actually turning this around. SCVs pull off the line for a change. They're going to take some losses for sure. 2 Marines against all of this from the Protoss is not going to be enough. They're actually turning away this SCV pull-off again. Looks like they're going to target down this supply depot, break down the wall. There is a 1 barracks on a tech lab here trying to make another Marauder, and it's not going to come out. 5 units from the Protoss here are going to push everything back and actually start camping the production facilities from the Terrans. So he's looking like he's in good shape now, despite being down 9 supply. And he's getting free SCV kills as they wander up one at a time. 1 Marauder comes up on move command, not attacking. It does get cleaned up after 1 shot. So does the second one, and all of these SCVs start filing in one by one. They're going to get thrown away. So Tdub now falling behind in supply, slowly but surely. How many kills are on these units? 17 kills on the 1 Immortal, 10 on the other, so nearly 30 kills between just 2 Immortals, and they are just racking them up. This observer here sees everything that's coming its way. It's just 3 Marines and a bunch more workers. And if he does a little bit of kiting here, he'll be able to clean it all up. But he's not actually microing. There we go. A little bit of micro coming out of AliasRaider. Ooh, whoops. He is going to retreat down the ramp to the natural of the Terran. And it's going to be 4 Stalkers and 2 Immortals here. Ready for more warpins back home. What is he doing here? Just 2 warp gates and 2 more warping in. So not a lot of warpins coming in to re-support this. But it looks like it's actually doing okay by itself, this push here. 1 Immortal is on its last leg. So is the Stalker. But they do actually survive. And they're going to start regenerating shields now. What is going to pop out? Nothing is going to pop out anytime soon. A couple more Stalkers here have come to reinforce, and it looks like AliasRaider is in a great position to just kind of maintain his opponent and keep him on 2 base. We see that there's a lot of energy here on these orbitals, so that's mules waiting to happen, and the Terran is actually floating 700 minerals at the moment, so he can be producing like crazy. He needs to be adding on more production facilities because queuing up 4 Marines in 1 barracks is not doing him any good. So all of this money that he's got could be saving his ass right now, and it's just going fucking nowhere. So a few more Marines and 1 Marauder come down the ramp to try and challenge this. SCVs pull off the line once more, and it looks like AliasRaider is going to pull back for just a moment and then come back in. And oh, he is on move command for a moment too long there, but he does stop and he does get some shots off. He starts to clean up these Marauders. There's no more Marauders. It's just SCVs now. 33 to 57 is the supply count. Oh my goodness, 22 to 12 on the work account. So the Protoss is now decisively in the lead on workers. There are just like a dozen SCVs remaining, and they are going to get cleaned up really quickly here. I don't think mules are going to be enough. Force field went down on the ramp, but it didn't hold anything back. The Marines do come down and challenge these Zealots, but it's not enough. And I think we're going to see a GG here. Tdub is done. So the Protoss takes a good clean win here, a little back and forth. I thought Tdub had the win for a moment, but AliasRaider managed to rally up and push it all back, and he did camp that mineral line of the natural and prevent the Terran from getting the economic advantage back, and he secures himself a win. So GG there for AliasRaider. I've been Inglewood with Killing Esports. Check us out at youtube.com/killingesports or facebook.com/killingesports. I will see you guys again in the near future.